Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Live to Roll show. I am your host for the day, Brianna Wheeler, here with another women's disability show. Today's our topic is going to be a get to know us Q&A. So we have some really great questions that we're just going to go around and answer so you guys can get a little bit more to know us. So we're going to do introductions first. My name is Brianna. I've been injured for 5 years. I was wrongfully shot. I injured T12 and fractured L1 through L5. And I forgot to get quotes for the day. Ugh, I suck. This is like my role, and I forget sometimes. But next time, I got quotes for you guys. Okay, let's go to Ashley and Nikki.
So we're Ashley and Nikki. I'm a T6 paraplegic, and I'm a C4 quad. And we were injured in a car accident in 2019, and we're from Chicago.
And let's go to Maya next.
Hi, my name is Maya. I've been injured for 3 years now, and I am a C5, C6 quad. I also am from Illinois. I live about an hour south of Chicago, and glad to be here.
Thank you. And let's go to Jessica.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessica. I am a C7 incomplete. I have been injured for 10 years and I live in California.
Thank you. Woohoo! So happy to be here again. I'm so excited to do this and just kind of get off of the disability topic a little bit and just answer some more just regular questions about ourselves and let you guys in a little bit more as well. I'm sure if you guys have been watching with us, you guys know a little bit about us. We're going to let you know a little bit more. If you guys are watching live, make sure that you guys put any questions that you guys have in the chat while we're going along our questions as well, and then I'll make time to go through it and read a couple of them out. So we'll really appreciate it. And then if you see me looking down, it's because I have to read the chat on my phone. So just give me a moment to catch up with it, and then I will make sure that I shout you guys out and answer. You guys let us know who is watching as well. We can't see unless you actually comment. So if we aren't shouting you out, that's why. It's because we need to see your name pop up in the comments in order to see that you're watching. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Sean is going to pop up the questions for us. So Sean, you want to pop up one of the first questions for us? What do we got? Do you have any siblings? So this one is a yes for me. I actually have 7 brothers. I'm the only girl in the family. It is mixed up between my mom's side and my dad's side, and there's a couple like step siblings and stuff mixed up in there as well. But I am the only girl, and I am the second oldest. How about you, Nicole and Ashley?
So we have 3 older sisters, but we don't really have a relationship with them. Yeah, so it's just me and Ash.
Okay, perfect. How about you, Maya?
I actually have 6 siblings, one on my mom's side that I live with, and everyone else is on my dad's side. Mostly brothers, and I have one sister who I don't get along with either. So you guys are not
It's all good. It's all good. Okay, how about you, Jessica? Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, we are 7. I have my brother, who's my mom's and my dad's, and then my sister who I grew up with. And then I have 4 other siblings on my dad's side. And I'm pretty good with everyone.
Yeah, I think mine are like all like younger, so I don't really like have a problem with my brothers. It's more like my other family members, like my cousins and stuff that I don't really talk to. But my brothers, we're all pretty much A1. You know, we have a special relationship, so we're all pretty close, and it helps that they're all still growing up as well, so we don't have that much to really argue about, you know. And it's not really like a sister relationship neither. We're fighting like about girl stuff, so it's a little bit more different for us. Okay, how about the next question, Sean? What is your biggest fear? What is your biggest strength? I totally forgot that we are supposed to do popcorn style. My bad, guys. I'm so used to doing it like before, so we can totally do it that way as well. We'll just go to the next person, and then you guys can call in the next person after I call in you. Okay, so what is your biggest fear? What is your biggest strength? My biggest fear, this was kind of a hard one, but I feel like it is people in full body suits and masks. I kind of get a little bit like afraid, but I'm not really like scared. I'm not really like really scared of like anything besides like stuff my anxiety brings into my head. That's my biggest fear. Um, so yeah, how about you, Maya?
Ooh, I was so not expecting to be next with this popcorn. Okay, so my biggest fear is like being vulnerable and it not being received. That's like,
Oh.
I don't know if it's like my biggest fear, but that's the first one that comes to mind for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. I forgot to say biggest strength. I think my biggest strength would just be like my mindset and my power to keep on going, my will to keep on going after whatever happens. I feel like that's my biggest strength. How about you, Maya? You want to answer that one too?
Yeah, my biggest strength, and I always say this in interviews too, like for a job, I'm very open-minded. I like to think about things from other people's perspective and try to put myself in other people's shoes. And I think that's a good quality to have. So,
Mm-hmm. Okay. You can pick who goes next.
let's hear from Jessica.
My biggest fear, I don't really have too many fears. I think anything bad happening to my child, I think that's about it. And then my biggest strength, I have to say, is that I'm stubborn and I never give up. So, yeah, my biggest strength is being stubborn.
I love that. I love that you look at that as one of your biggest strengths and like own it. That's so cool. And then how about you, Ashley and Nikki? You're next.
My biggest fear, I was laughing at yours, Brianna, because I'm low-key scared of people in masks.
Oh yeah.
That scares me. But that didn't even pop. Yeah, that didn't even pop in my mind.
Yeah, I am like, even at Disneyland, I'm like, I don't know, Piglet. You might have to keep your distance a little bit.
My biggest fear, clowns. Stay away from me, clowns. So I have a big fear of not so much myself, but like other people around me dying or getting hurt. That's weird. That's so morbid. But I fear that a lot. And then our strength. Ashley.
Biggest strength is
I'm strong now.
and I was gonna say that.
I was gonna say my biggest strength is I'm stronger mentally and physically than I think that I am.
Same. You're copying me.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, those are good ones. Those are good ones. Okay, Sean, what do you have next for us? What would you change about yourself if you could? So I think I would change my anxiety. I would tone it down just a little bit. I feel like my anxiety has kept me kind of safe in a way, but I just don't want it to the extreme that I have it. I kind of just like, I'm like, okay, I'm okay. You know, I'm usually like trying to calm my own self down, which is annoying. But yeah, I would definitely change my anxiety if I could change anything. How about you, Jessica?
I think maybe, I don't know, what would I change about me?
I'm perfect, girl.
I can't think of anything. Maybe, some of like my, so I have a lot of like sensory issues because I have ADHD. So I have like started owning the fact that I'm really picky with like foods and just like sensation, sensory stuff. Maybe not to be so affected by sensory because I'm very like things just
Yeah,
bother
something
me.
that annoys you in your life. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good
like
one.
in my skin and my body.
Definitely. You can pick who goes next.
Let's do Ashley.
What would I change? I don't know. I like myself. But some of my insecurities. Goodbye. There. What about you?
I think if I could change one thing, I know it's a good thing, but I wear my heart sleeve, but it gets me hurt a lot. So I wish I could just hide that a little bit more. People use me a lot because I wear my heart on my sleeve, and Ashley always tells me to like, but I can't stop.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Maya? I really can't.
Yeah, for me, if I could change one thing about myself, I think it would be like my attitude in conversations. Like people think that, like, or my influx of tone, because somebody will say something to me and then it sounds like I'm being mean, and then I'm apologizing because I felt like I sounded mean, but that's not my intentions. I'm just very blunt and like say things how they come to my mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Sometimes
that's a good one. I know. And it kind of sucks because it's like you're like so aware. Like I'm usually like aware of my facial expressions because I tend to go like really like I make a lot of facial expressions. So if I'm not smiling, people think something's wrong with me. And so I'm kind of just like smiling all the time just to let people know that I'm okay as well. And it just like becomes something that I do that I can't really control. So yeah, that's annoying. Okay, what do you got next for us? What did you want to be when you were young? So I wanted to be a teacher for a long time. I thought I wanted to deal with kids. I've always been really good with my younger brothers and stuff. So I just saw myself being a teacher or doing something with music. I was fascinated with different instruments when I was younger and just all kinds of different things with music. So I really thought I was going to get something into music or even teaching music when I was younger. How about you, Nikki?
Nikki, you said me.
Yeah, I said you.
I feel like we walk the same paths because when I was younger, I used to be in choirs and playing instruments, and I always wanted to be a teacher, a music teacher. I mean, I ended up being a teacher anyways, but I always wanted to be a music teacher too. That's cute.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
so cool. How funny.
we have the same fear and the same teaching.
For reals, for reals. And my middle name's Nicole. And our life days are close to each other. Man, girl.
Yeah.
How about you, Ashley?
What was the question? What do we want to be?
What did you want to be when you were small?
When I was younger, I used to want to be like a doctor, and then I realized I didn't like blood, so that changed. And then since I was like 7, I wanted to be a writer, and we still friends.
Yeah. Oh, good ones. You guys can pick who goes next.
Okay, let's see. When I was younger, I wanted to be a lawyer when I grew up. Because I was really good at winning arguments, and I wanted to like go into criminal defense. And the only thing that's really changed about that is I've been to school, I'm in college, and I really don't want to go through 7 or 8 years of college to become a lawyer. So I created a coalition and I advocate for prisoners' rights through my coalition that way. And I work side by side with lawyers. So it's a lot better doing the work without all the red tape in the school. So
yeah, that's super cool. I actually love that so much because I wanted to be a lawyer for so long, like when I was in high school and middle school as well. But the thing is like the schooling as well, and having to learn all the definitions for it. That's what made me move away from that. That and medical school, I was like, there's too many terms that you have to memorize, and just going through school is a lot of that, memorizing those terms, and it's like they don't even all stick with you. You just have to kind of memorize it for the test, and it's just really annoying. But yeah, that's so cool. And then Jessica.
That's really cool. I wanted to be a lawyer too for a really long time. And same thing, criminal defense. One of my uncles was in jail, and I just thought there was so much injustice. But same thing, the schooling, I didn't like the amount of research that it takes to be a lawyer. And a lot of it is research. I thought I was just going to be debating and fighting people. But that wasn't the case. So
you're like, I got this in the bag.
I can definitely argue all day, but no, it's a lot more than that. And when I discovered that, I was like, never mind.
I
That's so
feel that
funny.
because like lawyers on TV, like you see the action and all that, and that's all you see. But I went to go take like an LSAT prep thing, and I was like, no.
Yeah. I'm like, when I actually started looking more into it, I was like, this may not be for me. That's so funny. Okay, what's the next question, Sean? What type of music are you into? So I'm actually into, hmm, I'm into kind of like a weird mixture of music. I kind of into like R&B and like rap. But I don't really like hardcore rap. I like kind of like singing rap, if that makes sense. To anybody listening out there, I like more of that singing type of vibe. I don't know, I like that. A lot of my, and then it's like a mix between that, which is like super like gangster rap music, or like Ashanti. So my Pandora is mixed with those stations. How about you, Maya?
So with me for music, I have a pretty eclectic taste. I listen to all types of music. Right now, mainly I just been listening to like old school, like New York East Coast rap and Christian music and indie. So it's like I'm all over the board.
Yeah, me too. My Pandora is so funny. My boyfriend be laughing at me when I'm cooking and blasting my Pandora music because it's just so opposite from me. And then I'd be singing like heartbreaking music at the top of my lungs, like if I'm heartbroken. He's like, "What is your problem? Chill out." And I'm like, "This just like it just hits your heart a different way." I don't know. I love listening to music that I like. But yeah, how about you, Jessica?
I think I'm the same way, very eclectic. I think one of the differences, I'm Mexican, so a lot of the music that I like is in Spanish. I like kind of like, banda, which is like those big bands with all the instruments and rancheras and all that. But then I like indie, rock, and then of course hip hop, R&B, reggaeton, so just a little bit of everything. I think the only thing I'm not into, which my son is kind of into right now, is like punk rock. That's the only thing that I don't vibe with that. But
Yeah, I
these
don't
are
really vibe with rock that much neither. Or there's some country songs I can vibe to, but usually it doesn't. The vibe is not the same for me neither. I'm like kind of like a beat person as well. So yeah, I totally feel you. How about you, Ashley?
I can listen to it all. The like kind of like Jessica, except like that hard rock. But I love country. I love pop. I love sad girl pop. I love sad boy pop. I love rap. I like I don't know what genre is what genre is R&B, everything. Yeah.
That's cool. And you too, Nikki?
I listen to everything, but I am more of a like rap. I love rap. I love any type of rap. If it's they're rapping, I like it. Sometimes it's a little vulgar, but I like it. But Ashley's opened my door. I listen to a lot of like R&B as well. And Ashley, I do not. I used to not really mess with country, but it's growing on me a little.
Yeah, they have some songs. That's why I said some country, because they have some songs that like hit you just right, where you're like, oh, I feel you. It's a very lyrical thing as well. So I feel like maybe it's just not our culture. Sometimes I just like don't understand like the culture. I think sometimes maybe I relate to the rap music or the hip hop music because I like could understand where they might be coming from with those lyrics, if that makes sense. So I think that's why I like gravitate towards it as well. How about you, Nicole? You want to send out a question to us?
Okay, I think the question that I had. I also saw in the chat someone said they can't hear Ashley and I. I turned off some of our fans, so I hope you could hear us now.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah. A question I had. I know it's a little disability related, but did anything surprise you about disability when you became disabled yourself?
Who do you want to ask, Chris?
Jessica.
Yeah, so I have a C7 incomplete on the right side, but I have some damage on C4 on the left. So the doctors kept saying that my left arm wasn't going to come back the same as my right arm. but I didn't know that people's hands just stayed this way. I just thought I was paralyzed, but I didn't know my hands were gonna be like this. And it took me probably like almost a month before I figured it out. I was talking to an OT and I was like, wait a second, what do you mean? My hands are gonna be like this forever? And she was like, you're a quadriplegic. And I was really confused. And like that's when I broke down, because the whole time I thought I was just like paralyzed from my legs, and they kept saying one hand is gonna come back more than the other. So I just thought, oh, they're gonna be normal soon, you know? But all they meant was she'll have more function in one than the other. So that was a complete surprise to me.
Damn, I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, it was so weird. I was like, what?
And then Jessica, you want to pick somebody?
Let's do Maya.
Okay, let's see. So I have two things. If it's about my body, like what surprised me, like with my disability. So I can move my left leg and I can't feel my left leg, but I feel everything like almost normal sensation in my right leg and I can't move it. So that was like still surprising, like every day, you know, like just different feelings and stuff. And like it's opposite on different sides of my body. And, you know, like I would think because I got shot on this side that if it was one side that I can't move, it would be the left, but it's, I can move it. So that's really weird. And then another thing that really surprised me is like how independent people with disabilities can be, just because I wasn't involved in the community and I was very like ignorant to disabled people and their independence and everything going on. Yeah, so I didn't know, I had no idea that there are like women, you know, out here just living their best lives in their chairs, you know, how we are today. And I was like, what?
Yeah, I remember being so shocked when I first saw Push Girls and they were like actually living their life. And I remember Tiffany was like getting gas and flirting with guys. And I was like, what the heck? Like, is this a thing? Like, is there really a community of girls in chairs that are just out here living their best life? And then after that was an option for me, that became the only option. I was no more like allowing and like creating like false narratives in my mind because I knew it wasn't true and I knew that I could do it. And I just had to figure out now what were the steps for me to do it. Like, what do I got to do next? Like, I do know it's possible, but now what do I got to do to make it possible, to make it part of my life? You know, that was the next tricky part, definitely. So yeah, I would say what surprised me about disability with my body would be my nerve pain. I really thought that that was going to go away. And honestly, the doctors were like not sure as well if it was going to go away. So I feel like they gave me false hope. They gave me a lot of false hope when it came to it because I was like really sure that, you know, I wasn't going to deal with it for that long. And they did not once told me that that wasn't an option for me. So the more I got into the community and started asking people like, hey, did your nerve pain go away? And they were like, no, I still have it. Like, I just learned how to deal with it. That was really surprising to me and like kind of still hard for me to handle on some days that this is just going to be forever. I think that was definitely hard. And then just in general, how little insurance really cares and how like little just the health system in general kind of helps us out and is knowledgeable about our injury really surprised me. I really felt like this was the worst thing that could happen to you when I first got injured. And it took me a while to realize that that's not the case.
Brianna, I feel like it didn't surprise me. It just stamped that the healthcare system isn't shit for me. Sorry. Excuse me, French. But I was like, ooh, I always didn't like the healthcare system. And then I was like, oh, it is messed up.
Yeah, for sure. How about you guys?
How about you?
For me, what surprised me the most is probably how like two similar injuries are completely different. Like, that was wild to me. Even stuff today when I meet people that are also like C4, their function is completely different. Like, listen to us. Let us advocate for ourselves.
Yeah, that's a good one. That was a big surprise.
I think what surprised me the most about disability was I always, I guess, just assumed disability was like you couldn't do certain things. I guess I never thought about all the secondary things that disability comes with, like the bathroom, the like temperature regulation, and like even like watching my sister's hands not work. Like it's kind of that surprised me. I was like, oh, I didn't really think of all of that. I guess before I got disabled.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Those are all good ones. We came up with some good ones.
Yeah. Right.
I liked it. And then just talking to anybody that's watching live for us in the chat. If you guys have any questions of your own, feel free to write them out and we'll try to get to them as soon as we can. And I just want to say hi to everybody who's watching. I appreciate you guys tuning in with us. And yes, so we're going to have Sean pop up another question for us. What do you do in your free time? So in my free time, I usually like to watch Netflix. I love watching different shows. Sometimes I get on a little bit of a movie, tip, but I usually like to watch certain shows. And or I'm doing that, or I'm playing with my dog, or I am building my little mini houses that I started during COVID. I'm usually doing that too. I got so obsessed with them. So yeah, how about you, Maya?
Let's see. In my free time, I'm either watching Netflix or doing something that has to do with activism. Which I mean, a lot of people don't think like doing activism or community work or volunteering falls into free time, but it's what I like to do. So, and let's hear from Nikki next.
What I like to do in my free time, I like to play with my makeup. I'm not a big TV person, but I do like the drug show. So I just finished Power, and that's a really good show. So if I find a really good drug show, I'll watch that.
I'm like, I'm gonna make you a list, girl.
I love those, and I think, and then just hang out with my sister. Really, we like to hang out a lot. We have a band definition. Okay, Ed,
Love it.
what do you in my free time, I like to listen to music, smoke weed, and read, and bother
Ooh, that's a good one.
makeup. What I do.
When he said smoke, me and Maya are like, oh yeah, we like to smoke too in our free time.
We know
It's like, I forgot it.
That's so funny. How about you, Jessica?
Well, I'm not really a homebody. So I really don't, I'm not big on being home. My free time, I do like reading. I spend time with my kid. I'm a big, like, I go to lunch, dinners, out for drinks with friends. I'm usually one of those people that's out and about. I like just doing different activities. I think traveling, I like to travel. I like to see new places. So, yeah, I'm never really home. Working out, I work out a lot. That's it.
Love it. I can't wait until I feel like more confident to go out and do stuff again. I just like really want my events to start coming back, like all our disability events. I miss them so much, and I'm just getting overwhelmed not having them. Nicole, you want to ask us another question?
Sure. So, I guess another kind of related to our accidents. Sorry, that's the ones I came up with. How were you before your accident, and how are you now? Like, how has your disability shaped you into who you are today? Would you say that or no? And I know we're all at different stages, so it's gonna be a little different. So, maybe start with you, Brianna.
Yeah, I definitely feel like my disability has shaped who I am today, and my whole mindset and how I view life and how I view life's problems more so is totally different than how I did my whole life. And there's certain even sayings that I said to myself, just like, why me, and just really, I would say, why does life hate me? I would always say that. And I would say life hates me like over and over. It would just be like one of my daily things I would say every time something went wrong, because I really felt that way. And I just feel like now I'm able to just look at life's life's problems as lessons. So I'm just more aware of that, and I'm just more humbled. I can put myself in people's shoes really easily, and I can. I feel like I relate to a lot more people, definitely now in my injury. So yeah, that's just me. How about you, Maya?
Sorry guys, my dog is like running back and forth. I don't know if you hear her collar, but um, for me, my disability has 100% without a doubt shaped who I am today. Like if you know me and my story, I was in my addiction prior to my disability. And with my injury, like being kidnapped and left for dead and all that stuff, like I didn't think that my life was worth saving. So when I woke up in the hospital, I just became completely grateful, and that gratitude like really helped shape my outlook in life and really helped change who I am as a person. Like it's really like overnight, just over injury, everything changed for me.
I love it. Who do you want to go next?
Let's see. How about Jessica?
For me, I have to say that it changed me in the way that I became more patient, more understanding. But my personality itself, it didn't. I think that I was already a very outgoing person who was all over the place and very driven already. I had already been through a lot in my life already. I got pregnant at 16 and kind of was already pretty determined to make it in life for him. And after my injury, I just felt like I realized how short life is. And so I decided I probably just was more full throttle on making my life epic, because I knew it could be, it just ends so quickly. Yeah, so I think it just amplified what I already had, and it did make me more patient because I could really just blow up on people more before. It teaches me, it teaches us like how to be more patient with people, because we need more of them than we probably did before our injury. That's probably the only thing that I can say. But yeah, it just showed me how short life is, so I make sure that I live it to the fullest.
Love it. How about you, Nikki?
I think for me, I was actually talking about this with a friend today that we were in the accident with, and I was just telling her how I feel like I'm more honest. Like even just like I was always pretty like in a bubble. I mean, I was social, but like with people that I knew. But I feel like it made me just be more like myself. Like I don't really care what people think about me anymore. I don't care how what people view me as anymore. Like it's really, you only really have to satisfy the person in your life. That's how I feel, especially after the accident. It's kind of like, I guess, like I said earlier, I kind of wear my heart on my sleeve, and I realize I kind of have to be a little sometimes more, I guess, protect myself, but also like just be more truly yourself and don't let people walk all over you. And I also appreciate like moments more. Like I really do love like spending time with like the people that I love in my life, and I feel like I appreciate those moments with them a lot more. So yeah, what about you, Em?
For me, I don't know.
For me, I called her nickname that only I could call her.
I know.
So if you heard that, do not call me that out on these streets. Sorry. But anyways, but for me, I feel like I've, like what you kind of said, I feel like now I'm more authentically me. And even though, yeah, I still struggle with insecurities, you're always going to have those, blah, 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 whatever. I love myself so much more now. And I love myself, like, in the fact that, like, okay, yeah, you have faults. We'll work on those. But also enjoy the things about yourself that you love. Because I realize, like, that trivial stuff, it don't matter. All that materialistic stuff, it matters what you think about yourself at the end of the day. That would say was my biggest thing that's changed. It's like, love you. Love yourself. For real. You're just gonna make me cry with
Love
your
it.
answers.
Yeah, those are good ones. Yeah, definitely. I love it so much. And like, I don't think like anybody's gonna be like, oh yeah, this injury is a piece of cake, you know? But really rarely do I meet people that say that they want to go back to who they were before, because it just does teach you so much about life. You can't explain like who you are before trauma and after trauma are just two different people, you know? And like, I respect the person that I am today, you know, and I like the way that I think. And sometimes I think about like old problems I had, and I'm like, if I just would have thought that way before, you know, everything would have been peaches and cream. But who knows, you know, if I did think that way, everything could have changed. So,
I
yeah.
sometimes
So,
think like, man, if I thought like that before, I wouldn't have got myself in situations before this situation.
yeah. For reals, for reals. So funny. Okay, Sean, you want to put another question up for us? Where do you live? Did you live anywhere else? So I live in Los Angeles, California. I live more for people that live out here. I live Monterey Park, and then my boyfriend lives in Hesperia. So I'm kind of both of those places, which is like really far from each other, actually. How about you, Maya?
For me, I live in Illinois right now. I was born in Illinois and I lived here until I was 12. Then I moved to California for like 8 years. And I came back to Illinois after injury because I was in California by myself. So obviously I couldn't really manage with being newly injured, and I'll be going back to California next year. So
Oh, so excited. How about you, Jessica?
I live in California. I live in Orange County, to be specific, in Santa Ana. So everyone usually thinks of it as where Disneyland is.
How about you, Nikki and Ashley?
So we live, born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, the heart of Chicago, baby. I never lived anywhere else.
Yeah, I left. I went away for college in the middle of nowhere, Missouri. And then I actually moved to Kansas City, Missouri for a couple years. Well, I moved back home for a couple months and then I moved to Missouri. And then I moved right back. And after like 3 years, I came back to Chicago. And I've been here since.
Oh yeah, that's super cool. I moved all around when I was younger, California and Arizona. So I lived in a lot of different cities in both of those places, like all through growing up. Like right before my injury, I was in California, and then I moved right to Arizona. That's where I got injured. Like, and I was there for like 3 months. So yeah, those are my two main states that I've been in. Okay, hit us with another one, Sean. What is your nationality? So my nationality is actually Mexican, white, and Chinese. My dad is white and Chinese, and my mom is fully Mexican. How about you, Ashley and Nikki?
So we're half Puerto Rican, and then we're half French Creole, Native American. Most of our dad's side is like from Louisiana, like French Creole, Native American. First people hear baby, you know. That's our family. So we're like little mutts. But yeah, that's. We don't know Spanish though, but I do love Spanish music.
I don't know Spanish either. Would you ask Maya or Jessica? Did you ask somebody?
Jessica?
Or no? Oh, Jessica.
Yeah.
I am Mexican, fully on both sides. Yeah, and I do speak Spanish.
For me, I am biracial. My mom's side is Caucasian, and then my dad's side is African American. With my mom's side, there's like a bunch of stuff mixed in there, you know, like French, Irish, all that good stuff. And then on my dad's side, like a lot of African countries, which is pretty cool. I got like an ancestry DNA stuff kit, and I'm like mostly Nigerian, so that was interesting.
really
Yeah, that's
cool.
super interesting. I want to get one of those too because I know that I have like more, which I feel like I honestly don't need to add any more to the list, but it would be cool to know.
I would like
um,
23andMe instead of Ancestry.
instead of what is it called?
23andMe.
23 and me. Okay, I'm gonna write it down because I'd be forgetting, girl. That's a good one. Okay. Ashley, Nikki, do you want to ask anybody any individual questions that you have,
Sure.
or any questions at all? You can ask whatever one you want.
I have a question for Maya.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get into advocacy, and like how was your experience?
Okay, so for me, I started with like a little bit of disability advocacy in the beginning with Miss Wheelchair, Illinois. And then George Floyd got murdered, and the mayor of my town wrote an email and blamed George Floyd for his own death, saying, like if he wasn't a criminal doing all this, he would have never died. And someone leaked it. And I live in a town that has a population of like 2,500 people. So it's a really small town. So I started protesting, and I learned how to go to like city council meetings and how to make actual change. So um, I got them to pass a proclamation acknowledging and condemning racism here in this town, and also got an annual holiday passed. So I'm in the process of organizing what's called Unity Day here. And then from there, I went on to creating a coalition because two men that live 45 minutes away from me died due to medical negligence in jail. And it's been like a huge cover up. So I've just been trying to like raise awareness to that. And that's basically how everything started. It's been going really well. My coalition is growing, and it's like actually having some successes. So I'm really excited.
That's awesome.
That's super cool. I think it's so amazing because just a little background is like me and Maya met, and she was like, I think you were like a year out. Were you, Maya, when you first went to the France?
Yeah, I was 16 months out.
Yeah. So she was still new, like learning, still couldn't do much, she was still exhausted from being there all weekend long. And like she is just became so dedicated to the community and learning and growing herself and to advocate. It's just so cool to see her out there protesting during when COVID was going on and still not letting that stop her, and just how passionate she's became about it. Like she's totally found her passion through this injury, which is so cool, I think. So yeah,
Definitely.
super cool. So Nikki, you want to just go around and ask us? We have like a little while. We'll probably a couple more, but if you want to like ask each of us like one of your questions.
Okay, I have a question for you. I know that you're passionate about disability rights. What made you passionate about that? You're asking me? Yes. What made me passionate about that is that, I don't know, I guess kind of like what Maya was saying earlier, like I was ignorant to like disabilities. And so when I became disabled myself, I wanted to educate myself, and then also was like, well, educate other people, because no one knows half the things there is to know about disabled people. One, because it's not even ever put out there. So I'll do it. Okay. So it was like started for me, but it also people too,
Ashley said somebody's got to do it.
I'll do it. But
Yeah.
Maya said, need the Mayas of the world, need the Ashleys of the world. Period.
Yeah.
This was a question for Jessica and Brianna. How did you guys get to become Triumph ambassadors?
Triumph ambassador. You want?
For me, I met Andrew, who is the founder of Triumph, after my injury because I needed a wheelchair. Again, insurance sucks. So they bought me a power chair and wouldn't get me a manual chair. And I just started working with Andrew because I needed stuff, and started going to the events. And while I was a mentor at Rancho, which is a national rehabilitation center in LA that has a huge program for spinal cord injury. And so I was a mentor there. And so I would work with Andrew a lot to get a lot of my people resources. So I would reach out to him for whatever my people needed, and just linking newly injured patients to resources. And that's kind of how I was already doing it. So then when I stopped working at Rancho, he just asked me if I could continue working for the community as Triumph Ambassador.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then I met Andrew and Walter, which is the secondhand man, at the Rolex Experience the first year that I went. I was in a huge hospital chair because, again, insurance sucks, and they gave me a huge hospital chair and not a regular one. And they saw me, and Walter was like, "Hey, like we have a wheelchair that I think could fit you. You could come by on Monday. We'll give it to you." And so I thought like that I was gonna have to do something else for it. I was wondering like how much it was gonna be. You know, I really did not think that they were just gonna give me a wheelchair, and they really did. I was so surprised, and I was like, "Wow, I love it!" And it really just changed my life being in that bulky wheelchair and going around for 2 years, and then having my little one that fit me, and just I felt more confident in it. It changed how I felt and how I looked in the mirror at myself. And so I was very appreciative to them. They thought I would be a good fit for Triumph. So they told me to start coming to the support groups. And then when I went to the support groups, I noticed that there wasn't a big young audience of I don't know if audience is the right word, but like people coming that are younger girls. And when a newly injured girl was injured and she was that age, she would just come to the support group while she was there, and she wouldn't come back afterwards. And like it would take her a while to then rejoin the community and be more confident. So I really targeted those girls, and I told Triumph, and I made it a point to let for them to know that I really want to go in and meet younger girls and women in general and try to bring them back into the community. So that's became my passion, and I absolutely love doing it. I miss it so much. Hopefully we can get back when we do our Christmas days, because we get to go to like hospitals like almost every single day and meet newly injured people all around SoCal. And so it's one of my favorite things to do. So yeah, that's how I got involved in Triumph. That was a great question. Okay, so Sean, what's our next question? Who inspires you? So for me, I think I have daily inspirations from the disabled community. I feel like I'm always getting inspired by somebody new. I don't really have like one particular person who inspires me completely. I kind of gain inspiration from a lot of different people personally. How about you, Jessica?
So I think when I was a kid, my biggest inspiration was my mom. She was a single mom who worked really hard. And then in our community, well, when I was newly injured, I met Bobby Brohan, who, he does the show with the guys on Tuesdays, and he's still like the baddest quad on earth. So he's one of my big inspirations. And same as, Brianna, I think it's funny because able-bodied people, when they meet me, they're like, "Oh my God, you're so inspiring." But then I'm like, our community is inspiring. Like, I don't know anyone in our community who isn't. I think we're just such badasses, that just our community in general is amazing. So, yeah, I think that would be the community as a whole.
Totally agree. How about you, Maya?
Okay, so with my activism, like I love, love, love Judy Human. And if you guys don't know Judy Human, she led a 30-day sit-in in the 60s, for disability rights, for laws to get passed and stuff. And she's been like a huge inspiration to me, being able to go out and hold protests in my wheelchair or lead organizations and just use my voice. So she has been a huge inspiration to me, and I just love her so much.
I love her too. She's great. How about you,
Yeah.
Ashley and Nikki?
That's a good question. I think a little bit of everything inspires me, like in everyone. The disability community is for sure hella inspiring. Kind of like Jessica said, like I feel like there's not really anyone who doesn't do something that's like outside the box, and that's pretty like inspiring to me. Like that's amazing. And then just like another random one. I always say kids inspire me. I just love how innocent they are and how carefree they are. Whenever I see a kid, I'm like, oh, it just makes my heart happy. Like they just inspire me to just be more like a child, you know, child at heart. Don't take things so seriously all the time. Life's not that. Life's kind of short, you know.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
I know, like,
Okay, Sean, what's another one? Oh, are you still going, Ashley? Sorry.
I know like what you think, Brianna. Like I'm inspired different people, kind of depending on like what you. But the disability community always inspires me too, especially you.
Yeah. I agree. When I was looking at this question, I was thinking, this is such a good one that I got on my story. But I was like, honestly, it's so hard to pinpoint it down to just like one person because there's different like parts of my life where people inspire me, differently. And so it was really hard for me to pick. And then, of course, looking on my social media account, there's so many huge names in the community that inspire me, so it's like so hard for me to put it down. So I decided to just put it on all in one. Sorry, my dog, he's being a little needy right now. He starts getting a little antsy towards our hour. But it's all good. We're going to finish off these questions. We only have a couple more, so we should just finish them off. What's the next one, Sean? Have you guys met in person? So actually, actually, have you guys met Ashley, Nikki, and Maya? Did you guys meet one time?
I met Maya.
You guys, okay, you guys met once.
Yeah, we ran into each other in therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then besides that, we haven't met Ashley and Nikki, Jessica neither. And then me and Jessica live around the same area, so we've been at a couple events together. And then me and Maya have met once in person at the Rolex Experience. That was about 2 years ago. And then we always talk. So I feel like I've met all of them a million times, and like we're best friends. But that's the way this social media game plays out. So yeah.
One day.
Yes, one day the twins are coming soon.
And we're gonna do a show. No.
In person at Sean's studio. We're gonna do a show. That would be so cool. Okay, what's the next one, Sean? Do you guys all smoke and drink? So I just smoke. I drink very, very occasionally, like very occasionally. Every once in a while I might have a Truly or like something like that, but I don't really like drinking. I don't really like hangovers. When I was younger, I used to drink like crazy. But after my injury, it didn't sit well with my body, with my medications. It was kind of hard for me to still want to feel like nasty the next day. Honestly, I just kind of like move away from it normally. How about you, Nikki?
I smoke, and I gave up drinking in January, and I haven't had a drink since. But I could see me, like you said, Brianna, like having Truly, but I don't even see it anytime in the near future. But I won't say that I quit completely, but it's just like after my accident, I feel like like alcohol, I just don't like the way I feel. I feel like I can't push myself around the same, so I don't like it. So smoking, I feel like I can still function. So yeah. And it's like a medication, Yeah. What about you? Me? For me, I stopped drinking back last August, so coming up on a year, and I don't see myself going back to it because I didn't like the way I felt. My baby. But smoking some marijuana, I'll continue to do that She smokes. What about you, Maya?
I'm like,
Hi, Logan.
so I do smoke weed, and I do drink. I didn't drink for a while in my injury, but then during COVID, like I've started drinking. I mean, not like heavily, but I've started drinking. I enjoy wine. I also really, really enjoy tequila.
Oh,
Tequila,
that's the hard
that is,
stuff. Yeah.
that's
Like
my
the
vibe.
hard stuff. I know Jessica's
Yeah.
like, me too.
Mhm.
What do you like
Yeah.
drinking, Jessica? I mean, what do you do? Do you smoke or do you drink?
Um, I would say so. The first 2 years of my injury, I didn't drink. I had never smoked. Um, I didn't drink the first 2 years because I had a doctor tell me, drinking and, healing doesn't go well together. So I just cut it off completely. But after that, I'm like a social drinker. So if I go out, I'm gonna have a drink for sure. Me and my girls will get together. We go wine tasting, go to breweries. So yeah, drinking is more my thing. Um, Smoking is not. I don't like the way it makes me feel. But I for my spasms, sometimes it's the only thing that works, but I don't like THC. So, my friends have found me like vapes that I'm not going to be high because I don't like that feeling, but my spasms will not stop even with baclofen all day. So, I do smoke sometimes when my spasms are really bad. You guys talked about the hangovers. Sometimes I have more spasms with my hangovers, so I'll smoke, but I don't like being high, so it doesn't have really any THC.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Um, that's so interesting. Yeah, it's so interesting, like how people's bodies act differently to different things, you know. Because yeah, my body could just take drinking. I think more. I'm not honestly sure if it was my body, or if it was just me being like picky and just being like, I'm not trying to feel like crap the next day, you know.
Well,
And like,
I, for me, like so I can stand and I can walk with assistance, and if I drink, I'm fine. But even CBD, like if I smoke anything, even 3 days before getting up to walk with my trainer, I can't walk. Like my legs feel like they feel heavy, really, really heavy. So like 3 days before, even if I have spasms, I won't do it just because I want to be able to get up and move because my legs will hurt if I don't at least stand once a week.
yeah,
So it
that's
is
so
weird.
interesting. Yeah, that's for sure. That's definitely so interesting. I know even my brother, he's not in a chair, obviously, but I say obviously, and then I look over. Like my bad. But he doesn't like smoking at all, and he'd be like, "It makes me so paranoid," and I'm just like, "You're lying. How does it make you paranoid?" I don't feel like it could make you paranoid, only because I smoke so often and like literally like throughout my whole entire day. I'm just like always smoking. So, I'm tired, I smoke. I have energy, I smoke. Anything I smoke. I'm in pain, I'm smoking. I'm not in pain, I'm smoking. So it's just like something that comes natural to me. So I don't feel those things that they feel. So I forget that, when your tolerance is down, of course, you need to get your tolerance up. That's for if you decide to smoke or if you decide to drink after your injury. I feel like you have to kind of find your tolerance. So you're going to go through those days where you feel absolutely drunk when you first drink, your first glass of wine or your first whatever, and then you have to kind of build up your tolerance from there all over again. I feel like it's kind of like when you're younger and you have to do it. But yeah, that's a little insight. Okay, so we have like two more questions or so. So what's the next question? Yeah. Do you want kids or to get married? So my quick answer is no. I don't want neither one of those things. I grew up with a lot of siblings and cousins and stuff, and I've been raising kids since I was very little, and I just have not wanted any parts of that. And being married, I feel like it's just like kind of like an old standard of thinking, and I'm not. I feel like a piece of paper doesn't really change much for me. So unless there's a bigger reason for me to get married, then it's not for love. I don't really see it that way. Me personally. How about you, Jessica?
Well, I have a child, so he's 15. Um, he's 15. So sometimes, like, I feel like I would be starting all over. I'm 32, so I'm not even like old or anything. It's just I feel like I'd be starting all over sometimes, but sometimes I really want a little girl, and I know we can't pick, so I don't know about that one. Um, and then marriage, I'd be up for marriage for sure, yeah.
Love it. How about you, Maya?
Yes to both. Yes, I want kids, and yes, I want to get married. I do agree with Brianna though, like a piece of paper shouldn't change your relationship. And sometimes it can, like when you get married, I've seen a lot of people like their relationships change, but I don't know if it's just like that standard dream that we're prescribed as like little girls. Like I want that
Mhm.
that big wedding and all that. So yeah, I do.
Yeah, I
How
totally
about
agree.
you?
I think that it's hard um, to throw like because it is what we're projected on, and it kind of feels like you have this fairy tale of like what it should or shouldn't be. But I think because I grew up kind of around like more toxic family members, I kind of never saw a marriage working out. So I was just like, okay, what the heck is the point of this, And I was just like, I saw them more having to be stuck together because of the kids, honestly, than like being happily married their whole life. So that's just me personally, like why I have those beliefs. How about you, Ashley?
Um, no, I don't want to get married. I don't see myself ever getting married. And then now post injury, I don't see myself ever having kids. Maybe like maybe less. But no babies. No. Well, I would get married. I wouldn't have a wedding. I never understood those stuff. Yeah, we traveling if I am getting married. We ain't spending. But I never wanted kids. They're welcomed accidents, though. I always said that it's a welcomed accident, but I don't know.
Yeah,
But if it happens,
definitely.
I'd be so happy.
It's so funny you said that about the wedding because I've always said the opposite. I've said I wish I could just have a wedding but not have to get married. Like I want to have the wedding. Like I like the celebration. I want a party. Same thing with baby showers. I absolutely love throwing baby showers, but I don't want a baby. But I want to be the one that's throwing the baby shower. Yeah, so funny. Okay, and then our last question is another. What's our last question, John? I think there's one more. Is that the last one? I'm not sure. Do you have pets? That's the last one on my list. So I have one Chihuahua that you saw on my lap a little while ago. His name is Lucky, my little baby. I absolutely adore him. During COVID, we have became best friends. We spent all day long together. So me and him are like clicked up all the time. How about you, Ashley and Nikki?
So we don't have any pets like ourselves. I'm actually not a big pet person, but our parents do. They have 2 dogs, and like I love the dogs and everything. And one dog's been with us since we were younger, our teens, and I love him. But I don't ever see me getting my own dog. But I do love the dogs, from a distance. There's 2 of them. There's 2 of them. They're really cute. Milo and Gumbo.
So cute. How about you, Maya?
I do have a dog. She is a pocket bully pit bull. So she's like short and stocky. She's like 50 or 60 pounds. She hears me talking about her. My brother took her in the room because she was running around like, and her collar was making all this noise. But she's such a good girl, and I love. Oh, there she is.
How about you, Jessica?
Um, I I think I'm not a big pet person. I think I have such like I don't know, it creeps me out when people treat them like family. I'm like, they're dogs, they're animals. Like it's just no. My dog is in the backyard. I'm like, he's not even mine, he's my brother's. So I couldn't see myself getting a dog. I'm just I've had a child. I'm like, no, no, no. So I doubt it. No, not my thing.
Yeah, they are like like children. But my mom, she now has dogs. So growing up, never wanted pets. Always very against them. We were kind of taught like we didn't like them. I didn't like go see dogs and like run up to them or anything like that. And now that we're like all grown up, she has 3 dogs and she absolutely loves the dogs. Which is like I rather prefer the dogs because the dogs don't talk back to me. The dogs don't tell me all these things and like all this stuff. He's like they still love me and then I was like, oh, whatever. But yeah, that's so funny. So yeah, that was the list of questions. I just want to make sure, Sean, those are all of them, right? I think we went inside of order at the list. So yeah, I think that was all of them. Yeah, that was all of them. Okay,
I'm over
and
here.
then Maya, you had one, right?
Yeah. Sorry guys, I was over here like rolling my eyes because I was asking my brother. I was like, "Can you help me show Raina?" And he's like, "No, I don't want to pick her up right now." So, but yeah, the question that I got was, where do you girls like to shop?
That's a good one.
For
So who do you want
me,
to go first?
I'll go ahead and I'll answer first, and then I'll throw it off. For me, I am obsessed with the website Shein. I'll order like $250 worth of clothes and then just go for a Shein haul. They have like the best sweaters, which is great for my quad friends. Super warm and cheap, so awesome. And then, what about you, Nikki?
I kind of shop a little bit of everywhere. I do, cause since I got injured, I definitely shop on Amazon wardrobe a lot. It just comes so fast. Like if I need some things, I don't really do much. When I do something, I need to ASAP free, and it comes. So Amazon has become it, but before Shein is a day one. But Target's kind of pricey though. Oh, Ross.
Love us some Ross.
And yeah, those are the few places I think at my top of my list. And yeah. Oh, and I love small businesses. Like I be finding all those small businesses in Chicago, and I just like to shop from them. Like if they have clothes, they always have cute, unique, different things because like each person gets like their own style for their shop. So it's kind of cute.
I love your small business shout outs. I'm always like going and I'm looking at the different stores, like, oh.
I'll keep doing them. I love it. What about you, Brianna?
So I also love Ross and Marshalls. Those are my first go-to if I'm not at Walmart and I just decide to pick something up. But I'm not really big on like buying a lot of clothes, honestly. So yeah, I don't know. So just those places. I usually like set out a day to go and pick out a bunch of different stuff, right? I go through the aisles and I just go to the dressing room and I just try on a bunch of different things because also a lot of their things don't fit like the same way. And I really like getting things that fit me like the first time. That's why I kind of move away from online shopping a little bit because I hate when it comes and it doesn't fit me the way I want it to fit me. And I'm not the type that returns it and like does all that. And like I always say I'm going to, but it just winds up just still being there inside of my drawer forever. So I just don't do online shopping that much personally. How about you, Jessica?
I honestly hate shopping. Like, it's just, I hate it. I like when people give me clothes. Like, anything, when anyone gives me something, I'm happy. But otherwise, I probably am a big Forever 21 person or H&M. And then Target here and there. I can't do stores like Ross or Marshalls because you have to look for things and that will drive me insane. So I don't like shopping. I don't do online shopping because like Brianna said, I don't even like trying things on. I just grab a bunch of things and hope it works. So then I say I'm gonna return it and I never do. So.
Yeah.
I
I same.
That's what she does.
I know. That's so funny. I love being given clothes too. Whenever my dad has any clothes given to his work or anything, or even like the girls, like the Rolex knows too. Chelsea just hit me up, was like, "I have a bag of clothes for you," and I was like, "Here I go. Don't get rid of them. I want them. Leave them right there for me." I absolutely love it. So then, just going through the chat, we didn't really get any questions in the chat today, but I just want to shout out the people who did comment. So. RM said, "Good evening, Peter. Thank you for joining us, Peter. You're always in our chats. We do appreciate it." Hey, Rollers. Otis, "Hi, I'm watching. Good evening, ladies." Susie, "Hi, beautiful ladies. I'm watching and loving this. Thank you for joining us, Susie." Peter, "Never let anyone limit you. You can do anything you set your mind to." So true. Peter's also from Illinois. And Little Money What said, "That was my question." I'm not sure which question was theirs, but one of them was their question. Jaw JJ Max says, "Hey ladies, Ratch here from the UK. C45 Inc. Loving these shows." Thank you so much for joining us. And then we have Ben, who also is joining us. Thank you for joining, Ben. Ben's always in our comments as well, which we really appreciate. So yeah, we really, I really had fun on this show. I liked it a lot. I feel like we should start incorporating some more of these and just answering some random questions rather than topics. So if you guys have any, just put them in the comments on this video or send them our way, and we'll make sure to answer them the next time that we do it. Is there anything else or any other questions that you guys got?
No, I think we got through.
We got through.
It's a good show. Yeah.
Did Ben just give us? Hold on, I saw.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Thank you, Ben, so much for giving us a super chat. We really appreciate it. I saw Sean pop it up because I can't see the chat, so I have to look down. So as soon as I got off of it, it was right there. Oh, Rachel's short for Rachel. Oh, thank you, Rachel. Love getting to know everyone a little bit better. Thank you so much. We appreciate it so much. That's super amazing. We appreciate the super chats so much. We know that it's not always easy to give, but it really does help us and our community out a lot, and just the Live to Roll show. So we really appreciate that. So thank you guys all for hanging out with us. We'll definitely see you guys next week. I mean, not next week. We're going to take that week off because I'm going to be going out of town. I'm sorry, my dog is getting a little crazy down here. And then I'll be back on the first Thursday of the month. So I'll see you guys then. And thank you so much for joining us. Bye.